All right, now we are moving to looking at an ellipse. So on this ellipse, I have provided you with the center, a vertex, and a focus. So for a lot of you, it's going to be helpful for you to create a quick sketch on the coordinate plane to try to figure out what do you have going on here. So if we just create a quick sketch, well, we're close there. We'll just make that one go off the screen. And then so your center here is located at -5, -6. So this would be the center. You have a vertex at -15, -6. So all the way over here, we have a vertex. And then you have a focus at -11, -6. So here's your focus. So remember that the major axis of the ellipse runs through the center, through the foci, and goes from vertex to vertex. So this is telling you that this graph is horizontally oriented. So if you look at your reference sheet, then that means that this is going to be one of the equations that starts with x. So we are looking eventually to fill in this form that you see going on your screen in red. So what we know is we know that h comma k comes from the center. So we were essentially given h and k in what was provided to us. We know that a is the distance from vertex to center. So that means that in this case, from -5 to -15, that would mean that A is equal to 10. And then B is the distance from a co-vertex to the center. But you don't know where a co-vertex is. We don't have that. That's not given. So the other piece that you were given is the focus. And that does actually help you because from center to a focus is C. So from -5, -6 to -11, -6, that means that in this case we would be saying that C is equal to 6. And remember that you have that relationship that tells you that for any ellipse, a squared minus b squared equals c squared. So for us here, that would mean 100 minus b squared equals 36. So -b squared equals -64. B squared equals +64, meaning that b is equal to 8. So now you have everything you need to be able to fill in this equation. So if we create the equation, we would have x minus h. So that would be x plus 5 squared over a squared. A squared is 100 plus y minus k. So y plus 6 squared over b squared. We found out that b is 8, so b squared is 64 equals 1. This is the equation of your ellipse. So on the graph, if we just think this through a little bit more on the graph, so I've already sort of plotted one side here, but I could create the rest of this ellipse with what I now know. So I have the center plotted. If I know that A is 10, then I can go 10 steps the other direction from the center and to plot the other vertex. So I would have another vertex here. And my other focus would be C steps, so 6 steps from the center. So going to the right, that would put me here for my other focus. And then to get to the co-vertices, I need to go from the center the opposite directions of the orientation. So this was oriented horizontally. So to get to the co-vertices, I'm going to go vertical. So up and down, and that's going to be B steps. So I'm going to go up 8. So that would put me up here. And then I would go down 8. So that's going to put me pretty far down here into the box. But that would then allow me technically to create the graph of this ellipse. Remember, an ellipse is just really an oval. That is a really bad one, I'm sorry. But it is essentially an oval. This one is pretty close to looking circular, not just because I'm a bad artist, but because your value of A and B are so close together. The closer together A and B get, the more circular it is. And remember that when A and B are the same, that is in fact a circle.